Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that be linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. I'll tell you what, it's been a long weekend, man. Just after our game on Friday. Worst game to lose is on a Friday night. Then you got to watch all the games on a Saturday and watch the teams of all your mates, Liverpool smashing it, Man United smashing it, get load of stick off of them. Then today, more games to honestly, it's a long weekend. Chelsea smashed it yesterday, and then you see our horrible start, and it's just all put into perspective. And it's just been a very negative weekend for Arsenal and all Arsenal fans. You know what I mean? Everywhere you look is just pure negativity, and a lot of that is really, as we know, because it was a very poor defeat on Friday night, and it's the only thing that's going to get us over that is if we can get a victory next week against Chelsea. It's all doom and gloom at the moment because it's the fixtures ahead, isn't it? You lose that first game, and then the next game Chelsea, and then followed by Manchester City, and you're just like, how are we going to get any points? So listen, I hope we can start turning it around, but a lot of doom and gloom at the moment, or maybe bring in some transfers to lift the mood. You saw yesterday in that Manchester United game when they brought Varane onto the pitch before the game. Look at the lift that gave Old Trafford, the way that place just erupted when they saw, that brand new signing come onto the pitch. That's what a new signing can do. It lifts the mood. It brings a freshness. And it's something that Arsenal just don't seem to grasp over the years in their transfer dealings. And not only that, we're missing out on transfers left, right, and centre. The latest one is Tammy Abraham on his way to Roma. It's a done deal. Going to be joining them in a deal worth around about £34 million. Chelsea, smart as usual, have inserted a buyback clause into that deal. When have we ever done anything like that? But they've got a buyback clause in that deal, and he is on his way to Roma. And remember, this is a player that wanted to come to Arsenal. This is an Arsenal fan, Tammy Abrahams. He was desperate to come to Arsenal. And not only that, Arsenal wanted him, but it was dependent upon them selling players. They needed to sell Eddie Nketiah. They haven't been able to do that. They needed to sell Alexander Lacazette. They haven't been able to do that. This has been a problem with Arsenal over the years, that we have players that we can't sell. Nobody wants them, because they're all on huge wages. We let their contracts run down, or if they're not on huge wages, they're just not that great. Nobody wants them. So this is the massive problem we had, and we've missed out on Tammy Abrahams. And when you look at the amount of balls that we hit into the box on Friday night, we could do with a guy with a bit of aerial threat, but he's on his way to Roma. What is happening with Alexander Lacazette and Aubameyang? Both of them, we're being told yesterday, rumours coming out that they're both doubtful for the game against Chelsea. That's not until next week, Sunday. And they're doubtful already. What is up? Have they got COVID? Are they being sold? Is it a discipline issue? Again, this uncertainty around Arsenal, it's a mess. Again, I don't know. I think they need to communicate to the fans. We'll see. It could be, we're being told they're ill, and it could be just simply that they're ill, but maybe give a bit more detail to it so that fans don't start drawing their own conclusions and media don't start drawing their own conclusions, because that's what's happening at the moment. Everybody's drawing their own conclusions on this. I've even seen where both of them, both Aubameyang and Lacazette, have been linked with a move to Barcelona. And at Barcelona, if they could get rid of Martin Braithwaite, would take one or even two of those players. They're realizing now that even Aubameyang is not an untouchable player at Arsenal anymore, and that Arsenal would be willing to sell him. Barcelona, as we know, we've seen with the whole Messi situation, they haven't got money, but they may be willing to do some sort of swap deals with some of the players they've got for Aubameyang or Lacazette. It's crazy at the moment. So much uncertainty around those two. And, you know, if they're missing for that game next week against Chelsea, God help us, you know what I mean? On a bit of a better note, Martin Odegaard could be on his way in as early as this week. Odegaard, as I said yesterday, heavily linked with a move to Arsenal. It looks like Real Madrid have changed their tune and are willing to let him go. He didn't play for Real Madrid yesterday in their victory, their opening day victory over Alaves. And there's a lot of talk that he could be joining Arsenal this week. Could be in the team and in the squad ready for the game against Chelsea, and that would be a boost. Now, what would the deal be? There's been a lot of talk yesterday that it could be a deal of around about £30 million, but then with some sort of buyback inserted, which Arsenal really don't want to get into that. Or it could be a loan deal, an initial loan deal, loaning him to us for another season, with Arsenal obligated to buy him at the end of that. That seems to make a lot more sense. Would free Arsenal with a bit more money to go and get some more business done. But it does look like that is going to happen. I'm being told that if that doesn't happen, they're going to then turn their attentions to Hossein Mawar. Again, this is the other mess. We should have had either Odegaard or whoever we're going for, even both, in before we had that first game of the season. But Odegaard could be in before that Chelsea game. So let's watch the space on that one. That one's definitely heating up. And Aaron Ramsdale, who's been heavily linked, and we were told last week that deal's dead. Arsenal have walked away from it. Sheffield United holding out for 30 million. Their manager saying a couple of days ago that he's actually not for sale. They're not selling him. However, we've been told today that Ramsdale may put in a transfer request to try and force a move to Arsenal. Again, we have no backup goalkeeper at the moment. I spoke yesterday about the fact that possibly we could make a move in for Freddie Woodman. But as it stands at the moment, we have no backup goalkeeper. But Ramsdale said to be considering forcing a move to Arsenal. So again, let's watch this space on that one. Remember, we're closing in on the end of the window, 31st of this month. That's it. The window shuts. So there is going to be a lot of activity. Rhys Nelson, who came on Friday night, he came on in the second half. Arsenal said to be trying to tie him down to a brand new contract. His contract is starting to run down. And once they do that, they are then willing to loan him out. Most likely destination for a loan for him looks like it's Crystal Palace. He could be on his way to Crystal Palace, but they're still trying to get him to sign a new deal so that, I guess a lot of that is to keep his value up. He is a very, very talented player, Rhys Nelson. But you saw, I was at the game on Friday, and I remember there was one situation where he'd done well. He was kind of through on goal, and he opted to pass it. He actually ended up passing it to nobody. And again, it's a confidence thing with him. He just lacks a bit of that confidence, lacks a bit of aggression in his play. He's got all the attributes, all the skills. But a loan move for him would be absolutely perfect, especially under somebody like a Vieira. Now, big blow on Hector Bellerin. For him personally, and probably for Arsenal as well. He was very hopeful of a move this summer to Inter Milan. However, that doesn't look like it's going to happen now. Inter Milan announcing that they've signed Denzel Dumfries. Remember him? He was the Dutch player. He was absolutely brilliant in the Euros. Inter Milan have signed Denzel Dumfries. He's the guy they brought in to replace Hakimi. So that means that any deal for Hector Bellerin now is more or less dead in the water. They're already short as money as it is without having to go and stockpile players that they don't need. So options for Hector Bellerin running out. I mean, I did see some links linking him with a move to Barcelona. To Bayern Munich and a swap deal for Talisio, but I see that as very much doubtful. Looks like Bellerin could be another player that stays. Again, we're finding it so difficult to offload some of these players. As I said, the truth of the matter is, the cold truth of it, nobody wants them. And then we've been told that Arsenal, Edu has put a huge bid, well, not a huge bid, but a huge deal on the table for Latero Martinez. said to be worth around about £14.5 million per year. That would be his salary if he came to Arsenal. However, even with that, Martinez is saying, no, I don't want to join Arsenal. I want to stay at Inter Milan. And I think this is where Arsenal suffer from the lack of Champions League football. These type of players of this quality are not moving only for money. They want Champions League football. They want to be playing in the Champions League. At Inter Milan, he'll be playing in the Champions League. Or he can probably have a choice of teams where he can go and play in the Champions League and probably take a slightly less money, you know, so that he's still in focus, still there, playing at the very highest level. And at the moment, Arsenal can't offer that. And that's another problem, as well as the seeming lack of funds. Remember, they started the window, we've been told 250 million, 100 million, all this sort of thing. It's obvious now that, you know, when you see the Tammy Abraham thing, that Arsenal need to shift players out in order to do other big deals. The Odegaard thing's probably going to be a loan. So you can see that a lot of that is starting to look like a bit of a myth. So, yeah, about 16 days to go, is it? Till the end of this transfer window. Arsenal got to get their skates on. And also, there just seems to be a lot of problems around the club. Mikel Arteta has got a big, big task on his hand. And Edu as well. Excuse me. He's another one that's coming under very, very heavy criticism at the moment. They got to get their act together very soon. Thanks for watching the show today. Don't forget to check out all of our content from the game against Brentford. And we will be back tomorrow with another Transfer Daily. Subscribe here to AFTV, like this video, and I will see you tomorrow.